Das deutsche Volk ist in so viele Kleinstaaten zerfallen, als es einzelne Menschen gibt. Und die einzelnen Staatsgebilde sind beweglich. Jeder trägt das Seine mit sich herum und verlangt eine Übertrittsgebühr, wenn ein anderes betreten will.
So far in our movie night extravaganza canon, we have done 2 of Wim Wenders' films. Paris, Texas, and on Conan's birthday, the 5.5-hour ultimate road movie, Until the End of the World. We did Paris, Texas in 2021 in order to honor Dean Stockwell after he passed away. Paris, Texas is a pretty conventional road movie which has Dean Stockwell and Harry Dean Stanton playing brothers who set out across the Southwest. Harry Dean Stanton, playing Travis, is discovered wandering around West Texas in a fugue state and is mute. He loses consciousness, and a doctor calls his brother Walt, who he hasn't spoken to in years, and who has adopted his son, and they set out to reunite the son with his mother. After Paris, Texas was done, Wim Wenders returned to West Germany after 8 years in the United States, expecting to make Until the End of the World. However, he realized that the movie pre-production, which ended up filming in 35 locations in countries spanning from the US to Portugal, France, Russia, Japan, Australia, and Italy, would not be ready for a couple more years. Even though he had been working on Until the End of the World since 1977, Wim Wenders decided instead to make Wings of Desire. That's the movie we're going to be talking about tonight. Wings of Desire, more than anything else, is a love letter to Berlin. Wenders loves the poetry of Rainer Maria Rilke, a German poet whose poetry often contained images and encounters with angels.
And wandering through Berlin and sort of still religiously almost reading Rilke every evening, at least one poem. These poems are all populated, so to speak, by angels, lots of them.
After throwing out a bunch of ideas, Wenders decided suddenly that having guardian angels posted throughout the city of Berlin watching everyone could allow the film to see as many perspectives as possible. These angels could listen to people's thoughts, their innermost desires, wishes, and prayers.
And those were the characters I'd be looking for, because they could really be everywhere and appear everywhere, and they could cross through walls, could of course also cross through the wall. They could be omnipresent, and they would allow me to have this complete overview of the city.
However, Peter Henke, Wenders' friend and collaborator, wasn't sure he could write this story.
Perhaps it's a good idea, but if I would be an angel, I would like to become a human being, to see blood, to touch, to become mortal.
After I told him the entire thing, everything I knew, it wasn't all that much. Knew these angels, I figured we'd better have 2 than just 1, or even more. And I had a list of people, character that I wanted these angels to sort of visit and connect.
They came up with a compromise. Henke wrote out some prompts and monologues as ideas, but most of the movie would be improvised. Rather than dialogue between characters, most of the speaking in the film is done as monologuing, recorded over the scenes.
Erzähle, Muse, vom Erzähler, dem an den Weltrand verschlagenen, kindlichen Uralten, und mach an ihm kenntlich den Jedermann.
However, the 2 angels, played by Bruno Ganz and Otto Sander, who have been together since the beginning of time watching over the world, do speak to each other quite frequently.
Beim Gehen das Knochengerüst an sich mitgehen spüren. Endlich ahnen, statt immer alles zu wissen. Ach und oh und ah und weh sagen können.
Ganz plays Damiel, who is sick of just observing and wants to tangibly experience the world. Damiel falls in love with a trapeze artist named Miriam, played by Solveig Delmartin. He is allowed to stop being an angel, but will lose his immortality and ability to fly over the earth. Bruno and Otto brought in an older Jewish actor named Kurt Bois they had made a documentary about. Bois had left Germany during World War II and was in Casablanca.
And his name was Kurt Bois. And he played in one film, Casablanca, and a lot of films he did, small parts.
Peter Falk is also in the film, playing himself, coming to Germany to play a detective searching for a German family during World War II.
Ey, was, das ist Columbo?
Nee, glaube ich nicht.
Nee.
Aber doch nicht mit dem schäbigen Mantel.
Ja, stimmt. Der rennt doch hier nicht durch die Pampe.
However, he is also a former angel who convinces Damiel to try out human experience. The movie production was extremely freewheeling, with the cast, Hanke, and Wenders collaborating constantly on the fly. This genre of filmmaking is called City Symphony. The original City Symphonies were often documentaries which attempted to capture a location and a moment in time. They were largely made in the 1920s, right before the first films with sound. The original City Symphonies were named for the orchestral music that would be played over them. They have inspired filmmakers like Godard and Woody Allen. However, neither Wings of Desire nor films like Manhattan or 2 or 3 Things I Know About Her can truly be considered city symphonies. City symphonies lacked narrative, plot, or characters outside of the city. One last interesting choice is that the movie is filmed in both color and black and white. The black and white, which invokes the original City Symphonies, is what the angels see from their perspective. Wim Wenders believes black and white photography is the best way to express the essence of a subject.
It seemed to me that these metaphoric and poetic characters of angels, they could never exist in color. I don't know, I never really thought much about it. It was sort of obvious. I took it as a given from the beginning.
The human perspective, mostly embodied by Miriam and then Damiel as he becomes human, is color. Color shows the fullness of human experience. Wim Wenders filmed Wings of Desire just a few years before the Berlin Wall fell. He couldn't know it at the time, but it makes this City Symphony a perfect time capsule into an era of Berlin history.
Ist das rot?
Ja. Haben Sie sich verletzt?
Heute geht's gut.
Gut.
Und die Rohre?
Rohre sind gelb.
Gelb.
Ja.
Und der da?
Der ist graublau.
Graublau. Der?
Lila.
Der?
Der ist orange. Ocker.
Ocker? Oder orange?
Ocker.
Ocker. Gelb, rot.
Gelb, ja.
Der?
Der ist grün.
Grün.